Using a graph for a composite function is a lot the same as using a table. You're going to look up the value, the y value for the x for the first function, and then you're going to make that your x value for the second function. So for this one, they give us f of g of negative 2. We look at this line as f of x, and this line is g of x. So we've got negative 2 here, which we don't even have a value for f of x of negative 2 at this point, but we do have a value for g of x. And if you look on your more detailed graph, you'll see that you would go up to 8 here. And so I would have a point, I would take my negative 2 that it gave me here, I would put it in for x, I would look up my g of x value at 8 and say, okay, that's 8. So what I'm going to do then is go f of 8, because 8 was my g of negative 2. So you're solving it in steps, just like you would a BEDMAS. So then we go across to 8 here, and we look up to the value that's on f of x, because f of x is our next thing. So it looks like it's 3. So the answer here would be 3. Just to run through that again real quick, it's f of g of negative 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is look on the inside, g of negative 2. Negative 2 is my x value. I go to negative 2. This is my g of x. So I find the y value that corresponds to negative 2, which is 8. That becomes my x value for the next function, so f of 8. So I go over to the 8 here on the x-axis, and I look up to where it intersects f of x, and that is 3. The answer then is 3. The next one they give us is g of f of 3. So I'm going to look at 3, start here, and f is the first function I'm interested in, so I'm looking at the f value, and it looks like it intersects the line where y is 2. So f of 3 is equal to 2. So the next thing I'm going to do is solve g of 2. So f of 3 has become 2 because I put the 3 here, looked up to where it intersected the f line, and that's at 2. So I've solved f of 3. It's 2. Now I need g of 2. So I'm going to go to 2. So this was my 2 here. And I'm going to look at where it intersects the g line. It looks like it's right at 0, right there. So this whole thing becomes 0. So the way I solved that one was I looked on the inside, f of 3, that's f of x, 3 is x. 3 is x here. This is my f line. It hits where y is 2. That 2 value becomes my new x value for g of 2. So I look at 2, and I look at the g line, and it hits at 2 and 0. So 0 is my final answer.